Hey, Eric here. Welcome to my channel. Today is August 1st, 2026. Today's video is the appeal that took place on July 1st of this year. The appeal was for a trespass that was issued against me on June 12th by Robyn Tolin of Chocolate Thunder Security for Burlington, Vermont City Hall. Chocolate Thunder Security was initially contracted for City Hall in March of 2020. They were only contracted temporarily to provide bathroom services for the homeless and the drug users in the area. Their contract got extended, and then it got extended again yearly. No reason or rationale was really given to why it was continuing to be extended. And currently, to date, Chocolate Thunder has received about $1 million since March 2020 and are paid $10,000 a month on average at $120,000 a year. So June 1st, Todd DeLuca was covering a story involving Ari Moskowitz. If you're not familiar with those, you can check them out at Ari's stuff at Truth in Vermont on Instagram, and Todd DeLuca's stuff on beautiful scenic Burlington on YouTube. So I went to City Hall to file a public records request and followed up on the 12th and was trespassed by Robyn. So this following video is an appeal to that trespass. The city, the Public Safety Committee reduced the trespass from 180 days to 30 days, with one councilman completely dissenting from all of their council. And I honestly believe the trespass should have been rescinded. 2 days after the trespass expired, I went back to City Hall and was trespassed again. That hearing just took place July 27th, and I'm posting that in another video. So I appreciate you watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. This is Ranjit Buddy Singh, Chair of the Public Safety Committee. I'm calling the special appeal hearing to order at 5:31 p.m. on July 1st. We'll be hearing an appeal of a trespass notice. Looking for a motion to adopt the agenda.
I would move to adopt the agenda as posted on Civic Clerk.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Motion passes, I believe, Councilor Grant. But we do have a note for a public forum here. So if there's anybody from the public that would like to speak, now would be the time. If you're a participant, please raise your hand if you'd like to speak here at public forum.
You do have one individual.
Yep.
I will allow them to speak.
All right.
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes,
We can. Hi, Todd.
All right. Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
Good. So you're welcome to speak in public forum. So please introduce yourself, and we'll.
Yeah. My name is Todd DeLuca. I'm here to. I'm here because I'm going to be facing my own trespass appeal shortly. So I want to see what the process is like. I'm also here to speak on behalf of Eric Ravel. He does citizen journalism a little bit, like what I do. And I saw his video that he published on this encounter that got him trespassed. And I have a few things to say about that. In his video, so first of all, the reason that I saw on the trespass, his trespass was had to do with making threats. I think that's why the trespass was for 180 days. And I also think that's why the trespass was issued in the first place. What I saw on his video, I didn't see any threats being made. So I think the basis for the trespass itself is not there. And the other thing I wanted to say was, we have a constitutionally protected right to record in public, and we have a constitutionally protected right. It's even stronger to record our government officials. in the courses of their duty. And I think that even extends to, recording security guards who are acting on behalf of the government, securing City Hall. What I did see was a security guard who unnecessarily escalated a situation in a manner that was unprofessional, and based on her own words, was clearly because she did not want to be recorded. And whether or not she wants to be recorded, that's not her decision to make. And it's certainly not her place to escalate and to lie about making threats. If that's the case, I didn't hear any threats, but maybe there was something I didn't see. And I just hope that y'all will look at the evidence fairly, and if there aren't threats, just uphold our right to record in public. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Todd. Appreciate you coming to the meeting. Is there anybody else from the public that would like to speak on our agenda this evening?
I do not see anyone else online.
All right, we'll move on to our next item on the agenda, which is the appeal of the trespass order. For the purposes of the record and for the appellate and those here in this meeting, the way we will do this is I'd like to do an introduction of all the people that are here, so the appellate knows who will be hearing this trespass. And then I'd also just like an acknowledgement from those on the committee that they've had a chance to review the evidence that was provided by the city. And then we will move to the portion of where those that have issued the trespass will state their evidence and their thoughts on the case, and then the appellate will have a chance to respond to those. And then if there's questions back and forth from the committee members, we'll take those after those two initial testimony. So first, I'll begin with myself. I am Ranjit Buddy Singh. I represent the South District here on the Burlington City Council. I'm chair of the Public Safety Committee, and I've had a chance to review the video and the other evidence that has been provided by the city's attorney. I'll turn it over to you, Councilor Litwin.
Thanks. Thanks very much, Councilor Evan Litwin. I am a member of the Public Safety Committee, and feel free to call me Evan or Councilor Litwin, whichever works for you. And additionally, I have reviewed both the files that were sent over from the city attorney's office, as well as the video links that were sent by Mr. Gravel.
Great. Councilor Grant, do you have a chance to introduce yourself?
Thank you. Councilor Milo Grant, Central District, which is wards 2 and 3 in the city, and I have reviewed what was submitted.
Thank you very much. Councilor Sanchez Parkinson?
It looks like we lost her.
Oh,
So she might have been in her car.
There is
Yeah.
a phone number ending in 615. Might that be her? Should I inquire?
Let me just look. Yes.
That's her, yeah. Okay. Councilor Sanchez Parkinson, could you introduce yourself and let us know whether you've had a chance to review the evidence that was provided? Councilor Sanchez Parkinson, can you hear us?
I think it's *6 to mute and unmute, or *7.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Councilor Sanchez Parkinson. Can you hear us? You're unmuted, but I don't think we can hear you. I'll move on then to City Attorney Jessica Brown, please.
Good evening, everyone. I am Jessica Brown. I'm the city attorney, and so I will be facilitating presenting this information on the city's behalf for this hearing tonight.
Yep. Kaylee?
Hi, Kaylee McClanahan, Assistant City Attorney. I am acting as the staff attorney for the Public Safety Committee.
Great. Robyn? Sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone.
I think she's just trying to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, hi, my name is Robyn. I'm a security guard of 5 years with Chocolate Thunder Security. I'm sorry.
You hear that?
Thank you, Robyn. Mr. Gravel,
Yes, I'm here.
would you introduce yourself?
My name's Eric Gravel. I was the victim of Chocolate Security Thunder.
All right. And did you have a chance to access the evidence that was provided by the city?
No, so I got the link from Joseph Dempsey, and I don't have access to a laptop, and I told him that, and I asked him to send it to me in another way, and he insisted I go to the library. My schedule doesn't really permit me to spend too much of my time running around finding computers because the city's attorney didn't want to send me the information another way, like for example through like a Google Drive doc or something. So no, I didn't get a chance to view it, which is something I would have liked to have done.
Mm-hmm. All right. If there's a particular piece of evidence that somebody cites in this hearing, we'll try to bring it up on the screen so you can see it. I'll let you know that I've reviewed your video. They cross-reference each other well, and if we need to go to either one of those, we'll do our best to try to provide that for you during this hearing. From there, I guess I'll leave it to Attorney Brown to present the city's and I believe Chocolate Thunder's testimony.
Thank you. Robyn, can you turn your, I'm gonna just start with Robyn. So Robyn, can you turn your camera on and unmute yourself? Robyn, are you still there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. Oh, but now you muted yourself again. Okay. So you're unmuted and I could hear you. Are you able to turn your camera back on? I don't know what happened to your camera.
I'm not sure where it went either.
Is the committee okay if I go ahead and start
Yes.
Robyn's testimony, even though she seems to be having technical problems? Okay, thank you. So you've already introduced yourself, but for the record, would you please state your name?
My name is Robyn Tolin.
Okay.
I'm a security guard for Chocolate Thunder Security of 5 years.
Okay, thank you. Who are your bosses who you report to as a Chocolate Thunder employee?
Michael Van Goulden, who is the company owner, and then also Paul is our human resources manager, Paul Tenney.
Okay. Robyn, were you working for Chocolate Thunder on Friday, June 12th, 2026 in
Yes.
Burlington City? Were you, was your shift in Burlington City Hall?
Yes.
And was there a particular floor in City Hall that you were working on?
3rd floor.
Can you repeat that?
The 3rd floor.
Thanks. So during the time that you were working for Chocolate Thunder, in your capacity as a security guard in City Hall on Friday, June 12th, did you eventually issue a notice against trespass to Eric Gravel?
Yes.
All right. I want to just walk you through how and why you ended up doing that. But first I want to ask you, do you, when you are working as a security guard, do you typically wear a body-worn camera, what's referred to as a body-worn camera that can record?
Yes.
Were you wearing yours that day, and was it recording?
Yes. I hit the record button, but it did not actually record the footage.
Hello.
Hi.
You're with Chocolate Thunder as well. How are you?
Recording?
Absolutely.
I don't consent to be on video camera.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good to me.
What brings you to City Hall? Sir,
I'm conducting business.
I said I do not consent to be on video camera.
Okay.
Can you move your camera in
Absolutely
another
not.
direction?
Absolutely
Who
not.
are you here to see?
I don't think that's any of your
What
business.
business are you conducting at City Hall?
I don't think that's any of your business either.
You came to City Hall just to record a security guard?
No, I came here for official business, and I'm not telling you about it because it's none of your business.
I would like to point you in the right direction, maybe get the person that you came to see. I want to
Are
help
you
you
a
while you're
are you
here.
a city hall employee?
I work for a private security company that has a contract with City Hall.
Okay, yeah.
That would make me part of the City Hall staff.
So what's your name?
My name is Robyn.
Robyn what?
Are you going to tell me why you're here? Why should I share
don't
my
have
full
to.
government name with you? You won't even tell me why
Because
you're
you
here.
just claimed to be a public servant working in the
I did not
official
claim to be a
capacity.
public servant.
You just claimed you were contracted and you're officially a city employee.
Anthony? Why are you here?
I'm not going to answer your questions, I'm sorry.
So you came here to cause aggravation?
No, that's your assumption what I'm doing. You're the one that got allowed. You're
I
the one
asked
that
you
said
a clear
anything
question.
to me.
Yeah, I think this guy needs to leave.
Good luck.
You can be trespassed from City Hall.
Okay. Under what grounds I'd like to know, and who's going to issue the trespass I'd like to know as well.
I've asked you to take me off camera. I've also asked you why
You're
you're
in a
here.
public setting,
Okay.
you have no expectation of privacy.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so you were wearing it, and you tried to record with it, but it did not record. Is that accurate?
Yes, I sent an email before that shift that I was having issues with my camera charging and then the battery draining very quickly. It would record and then the battery would drain and it was not functional at that point. So I was waiting for a body camera during that shift, but I was still wearing it because it does help deter certain incident types.
Okay. So you ended up with no recording of your encounter with Eric Gravel. Is that correct?
Not personally, but that particular day, I was assigned to the third floor, which is unusual because there's usually only one security guard at City Hall, and there was one on the first floor. He, as I am aware, recorded his interaction with Mr. Gravel during his initial contact coming into the building on the first floor, and I was informed that he was asked to leave at that point, and he advanced to my floor, and I still did not know that he was not welcome at City Hall at that point, but his visit escalated from there.
Okay, so tell the committee, please, when you first became aware of Eric Gravel, and even if you didn't know his name at that point, of Eric Gravel being in the building, being in City Hall.
Yes, my coworker Anthony, who was the other guard, sent a message over the radio that an independent journalist was advancing to the third floor
There it is.
to see me.
Okay. And did someone eventually come to the third floor?
Yes.
And again, you may not have known his name at the time, but now do you know that person to be Eric Gravel, who is participating in this hearing?
Yes.
Okay. So we've established that your body-worn camera was not recording. Was it your impression that Mr. Gravel was recording your encounter?
Not initially. He didn't really have his personal cell phone out in an obvious manner right away, but just a short amount of time interacting with him, he pulled it out and it became clear that he was recording our interaction. Yes.
Okay. And have you watched Mr. Gravel's recordings from June 12th?
No, I have not. I was told that he has a social media page I usually don't investigate those.
Okay. Thank you. So once Mr. Gravel came to the third floor, what transpired between the two of you?
So usually a visit to City Hall, anyone coming in, their initial contact is going to be with the security guard who can provide directions or instructions. If they're asking for a birth certificate, we will send them to the second floor, for example. Sometimes they'll come in and they need to go to parking services, which is another building. So when he first came to the third floor, I just treated him like any other visitor, and I asked him how I could help him, why he was there, so that I could help his visit go as smoothly as possible, and I could provide those directions or instructions. And immediately, after I asked those types of questions, he demonstrated defiance, like intentional defiance. It seemed like he was trying to provoke. He was trying to be provocative or challenge my authority. He became aggressive and his body language changed, and he said, "I don't think you need to know that. That's none of your business. I'm not going to tell you why I'm here. That's none of your business." And I just kept trying to probe him to find out why he was there, so that I could, just help him. And he refused. I even asked him his name at one point, and he refused. So at that point, I started to feel sort of verbally and physically threatened, because his body language changed, and he was asking me personal questions about my pay rate, stating that he thinks I was getting paid too much to do my job. And he had a very menacing sort of attitude it became very clear to me that he wasn't there for a birth certificate. He wasn't there for any other reason than I guess it was just to record this interaction. And I wasn't aware of it still at the time. I began to send a message over the radio for Anthony to come upstairs for assistance. I didn't know he had already asked him to leave, but I personally then told him, "Well, sir, if you're not here to conduct City Hall business, I'm going to ask you to leave." And he was not trespassed at this point. I just asked him to leave, and he became more aggressive. And I said, if you're not going to leave, I will call Burlington Police Department. He said, "You're going to have to go ahead and do that." And I called them, and even I watched his interaction with them. He changed. He became even more aggressive and started using foul language with them when they told him he needed to leave.
So at any point during your encounter with Mr. Gravel, did he tell you any particular purpose for which he was in City Hall?
Not at all.
Okay. Did you, you mentioned that you radioed to your first floor colleague to come up to assist on the third floor. Is that Anthony who you've referred to?
Yes.
Okay. And was Anthony's body worn camera recording once he arrived on the third floor?
Yes. Fortunately, I was told that when he came up, he turned on his body camera and started recording immediately.
Okay. At some point, did you learn from Anthony whether Mr. Gravel had indicated any purpose for being in City Hall when he arrived on the first floor?
The conversation about his visit occurred after he was escorted by BPD out of the building. We congregated on the first floor around the security desk, and that's when Anthony explained that initially Mr. Gravel asked, I guess, for a record request, and then he seemed to be treating sort of a sense of like impending aggression, or I guess he made some of the other city staff members uncomfortable, and they hinted toward Anthony that he should ask him to leave. So that's when I found out he was asked to leave, was after he was escorted out of the building by Burlington Police Department.
Robyn, do you know if when Mr. Gravel expressed interest in making a public record request, if if he was told how he could do so?
He never expressed this interest to me, but I'm pretty certain he was directed to the city attorney's office, where he probably spoke to a clerk, which is our usual protocol if someone wants to file a claim or request a record.
Okay. And where is the city attorney's office in City Hall?
It is next to the security desk. If you were facing the front entrance from the security desk, it would be to the left of that security desk, next to the Sharon B room.
And what floor is that in City Hall, just to be clear?
The first floor.
Okay. I just have a couple more questions. So we've established the reason that we're here is that you did eventually issue Mr. Gravel a notice against trespass for City Hall. Do you as a Chocolate Thunder employee have guidelines that you follow for when you can and should issue a notice against trespass?
Yes, there's like a graduate system. It goes from like 30 days to 90 days to 180 days. And then if there's a violation, it can be increased to 365 days. And this graduation system is based on severity of the offense.
Okay. How long was the notice of trespass that you issued to Mr. Gravel?
180 days.
And what was the reason why you issued a 180-day trespass?
The reason why is because I felt physically threatened, and the verbal threats, like asking me how much I make, insinuating that I didn't need my job. I've been threatened by other individuals before, and this seemed like a threat. And the fact that he was directly telling me that Burlington Police Department would have to remove him in order to comply with my request, it made me feel that he was intentionally trying to create a setting of unsafe feelings that day for the staff.
Okay. Have you issued trespass notices to other people when you've been working in City Hall before?
I have, but it's honestly pretty rare. I'm a very relaxed guard. I try to give a very mild verbal warning first, and I give everyone sort of the benefit of the doubt. And I am consistently kind to everybody. So it doesn't happen very often, but I felt that his conduct deserved a 180-day trespass, and I don't regret my decision now since learning that he was asked by the initial guard to leave also.
And so my last question for you is just to clarify, so it's your understanding that Anthony had asked Mr. Gravel to leave after addressing the public records request on the first floor, correct?
Yes, and again, later I gathered more information through our conversations about the incident, and he even stated that Mr. Gravel was following him around during a patrol. So there was something going on the first floor that I was unaware of until he actually personally arrived physically on the third floor.
Okay. And then did you and Anthony, once Anthony arrived on the third floor, you've stated that you asked Mr. Gravel to leave, and he refused to leave unless BPD came and told him to leave. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And did you warn him that if he didn't leave, you would trespass him?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Robyn. I don't have any other questions. Councillor Singh, Chair Singh, I guess I want to defer to whether you want to give members of the committee an opportunity to ask Robyn any questions. I do have just a couple of sort of legal sort of ordinance points that I want to make, but I'll defer to when you would like to have me do that.
Yeah, I'll wait till the end to have the councilors ask either questions of Robyn or Mr. Gravel. If you'd like to make a couple legal clarifications for us prior to Mr. Gravel's testimony, if it's pertinent to what Robyn has just said, I would welcome that at this moment.
Okay, thank you. So I just want to identify for the committee the pertinent sections of the Burlington Code of Ordinance, which, just to make things confusing, are 2145, and then there's also 2145 capital A. And so I want to identify that in both 2145 and in section 2145 capital A, subsection B, both of the, so 2545 lowercase subsection lowercase a1, as well as 2145 capital A subsection B, both are the sections of the ordinance that authorize, among other officials, authorize the contracted private security guards, security company to issue notices of trespass. So that's the first thing I want to draw your attention to in that section of the ordinance. And then additionally, I want to draw your attention to 2145 capital A subsection C, which does require that a warning be issued prior to issuing a trespass notice to allow for a person to change or address the conduct that is potentially leading to the trespass. And so here I would submit that both Robyn and Anthony, whose videos you have seen and I assume reflect, just from a different angle, the same encounter that Mr. Gravel's recording reflects. Both Robyn and Anthony requested that Mr. Gravel leave. He refused. They warned him that if he didn't leave, he would be trespassed. So I think that they met the requirements of 2145A subsection C. And finally, 2145A subsection E establishes different lengths for a notice of trespass, including allowing for more than a 180-day trespass for conduct that involves harassment or threats. And so I would just, again, submit that the guidelines that Robyn described that she follows as a Chocolate Thunder employee are consistent with the durations of trespass notices for certain conduct that are established in our ordinance. That is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney Brown. Mr. Gravel, we'd love to hear your testimony, and just so you know, I'm going to try to give you as equal time as appellate that the city has been given. So please feel free to state your case and your testimony.
Did this committee get a chance to view all the video? So I didn't get a chance to view what was in the file because Joseph Dempsey refused to send it to me. Was that the video surveillance from City Hall itself that was in that folder? Like the CCTV footage of in the building?
No, it was footage from the body-worn camera.
Okay. So do you is that footage in there, the CCTV footage? Because that would, if we had that footage, that would put a lot of uncertainties to bed here. I feel like Robyn here might have been overly stressed and therefore maybe has a poor memory of the actual situation that transpired that day. And I feel like based upon, so the fact is, all right, so let me back up. We're talking about it has body camera footage on there. At the beginning, Robyn gave testimony that her camera was malfunctioning, she was having issues, and she attempted to turn it on. She even stated that my camera was hidden. I would like to point to my video evidence that I presented that clearly shows that my camera was right out in the open. This is only going to take 1 minute of your time. It shows I was 15 feet away. You're a Chocolate Thunder as well. How are you? Absolutely.
I don't consent to be on video camera.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds good to me.
Who brings you to City Hall?
At no point is she attempting to turn on her camera. Conducting business.
I said I do not consent to be on video camera.
Okay.
Can you move your camera in
Absolutely.
another direction?
Absolutely not.
Who are you here to see?
I don't think that's any of your business.
What business are you conducting at City Hall?
I don't think that's any of your business either.
You came to City Hall just to report a security guard?
No, I came here for official business, and I'm not telling you about because it's none of your business.
I would like to point you in the right direction, maybe get the person that you came to see.
I'm a city hall employee.
I work for a
All right, so I'm going to pause it right there. At no point did Robyn attempt to turn on her body camera, not once. Immediately, she was attempting to figure out what I was there for. I was not escalating. I was more than 15 feet away from her. Those tiles on the floor are 12 by 12. Okay, I was not hiding my camera. And then additionally to that, all right, she goes on from there to talk about procedures. She claims that she claims to be invoking policies and procedures. I asked her what those are. So I want to know her official stance on this stuff because she's attempting to facilitate getting me help when I didn't ask her for help. I was downstairs, and this is another point of contention as well. When I was downstairs, I spoke to Security Thunder Guard Anthony, and at no point did he ask me to leave. A woman from downstairs came out to talk to me and asked me if I needed anything, and I told her no, and asked her what services she had to offer, because I wouldn't know what she had to offer or what I would need unless I knew what she had to offer. Anthony clearly saw me speaking to Joseph Dempsey and the other person that was with him. I went upstairs. I didn't follow Joseph after that. I went upstairs with camera clearly out, and Robyn immediately began escalating and said she didn't have my consent, her consent to record her. That was her main issue of contention. Not that I was aggressive, not that I was threatening in any way. And the only time that I actually used a profanity is when I turned it towards my camera and I was speaking directly into my camera. And it had nothing, and it wasn't directed towards her or Anthony in any way. And another point that she misconstrued in her testimony was that she wasn't told what I was there for until after BPD showed up and she was downstairs on the first floor. That's when she learned. And that's totally untrue. And I'll present the video footage right here.
City Hall.
Anthony came up and Anthony and I discussed why I was there. He told her why I was there. He told her I saw Joseph Dempsey downstairs for public record requests. She misconstrued it that I was trying to file an official complaint, and that's not the case. So she began to tell me policies and procedures on how to file a complaint. When I would like to know if Robyn even has the authority as a security guard to be talking about policies and procedures on filing complaints at City Hall. She's a security guard. Now I'm going to play a little bit more of this video because it shows how quickly Robyn escalates and how I choose not to escalate and how she immediately goes to a trespass. And she stated in her testimony that when Anthony called her downstairs that I was a journalist, an independent journalist, that in itself should have been enough for her to not interact with me. Okay, yeah.
That would make me part of the City Hall staff.
So what's your name?
My name is Robyn.
Robyn what?
Are you going to tell me why you're here? Why should I share my government name with you? You won't even tell me why.
You just claimed to be a public servant working in the
I did not
official
say I'm a
capacity.
public servant.
You just claimed you were contracted. You're officially a city employee.
Anthony,
Here we go.
why are you here?
I'm not going to answer your question. I'm sorry.
So you came here to cause aggravation?
No, that's your assumption what I'm doing. You're the one that got a lot of.
I asked you. Yeah, I think this guy is silly. You can be trespassed, stay on City Hall.
Okay. Under what grounds I'd like to know, and who's going to issue the trespass, I'd like to know as well.
I've asked you to take me off camera. I've also asked you why you're here.
It's threatening.
Okay.
You have no expectation of privacy. So right there, Robyn explains why she asked me to leave. Because she didn't consent to be on film and because I didn't tell her why I was there. Not because she felt I was threatening in any way or that I was doing something wrong. It was just that I wouldn't answer her questions and because she didn't want to be filmed.
Okay. I'll just sit here and let's just record me. That's fine.
Okay, you're the one that's giving me recordable content,
I said I do not consent.
which is recordable content.
Which is personal. If as a person, if I say I don't consent to you recording me, and you come up here and just get a camera in my face, you're the aggressive. You are the aggressive party.
15 feet.
You are the aggressive party.
I'm not raising my voice. Okay, so you can see at no point did Robyn ever attempt to touch her camera. I'm not going to play the rest of that. You've all seen the video. Okay. And from there, the trespass notice in itself, we want to start quoting policy and ordinances. We're quoting 21-45, capital A's and lowercase b's and whatnots, okay? Let's conclude in the fact that a trespass notice is required to have numerous specific things. And one of those specific things is on where to and how to file your appeal. I noticed they had all the other stuff on like how many days it was in effect for, what it was in effect for, you know, and where it was in effect from, but it was missing on how I appeal. So you guys want to enforce it based on the same statute that you denied even placing on the citation in itself, making it non-enforceable to begin with. That is a contractual agreement, that trespass notice. That's why people have to sign it. You guys, that trespass is missing pertinent information based on Burlington policy. So that is all I can think of right now. But the fact of the matter is she was told why I was there. I was not aggressive once. I didn't verbally threaten her. I didn't physically go near her. Right? And if we had City Hall's footage, it would show me the whole entire time I was there and would poke all kinds of holes in Robyn's story and validate everything I have said.
Thank you, Mr. Gravel. At this point, I would open it up to members of the committee if they'd like to ask a question of either Mr. Gravel. Oh wait, I heard something.
It's just background.
Oh, it's just background. Councilor Litwin.
I have a bunch of questions. Thanks so much to both, to everyone who just spoke. Mr. Gravel, I want to start by saying that I agree with you that the form that Chocolate Thunder was using is lacking the required information. And it's my understanding now, after having just asked that of the city attorneys, that they are now aware that that was an issue and they are correcting that. So I agree with you that the of the beginning, which is it does bring the question of whether it's a valid trespass or not, because we have a similar process for the Housing Board of Review, where landlords have to have the right to appeal written when they are taking part of a security deposit. And if that is not there, it is considered null and void per the ordinance by the Housing Board of Review. I served on that board for 3 years. Attorney McClanahan was our staff attorney, did a very good job there. So in my opinion, just from the start, there's a big problem with the trespass ordinance, or excuse me, the trespass form. So I just want to put that there. The second thing is, I also just want to clarify that I've reviewed the contract for Chocolate Thunder Security recently, unrelated to this case. And one of the scope of work that security guards have that we've contracted with is aiding visitors with general information on programs, city services, locations, first aid, and posted events, including greeting individuals while maintaining a friendly professional presence and an orderly atmosphere conducive to the city facilities' intended use. So I think to answer your question, they, from my perspective, they do have the right to ask you questions and how they might direct you. However, I do not believe, based on the video evidence that I have seen, that this was a friendly and professional approach. And so there are some issues here that I think we need to resolve. And for City Attorney Brown's benefit, I'm referring to page 11 of CTS signed contract security services. Again, not related to this case, but something we received yesterday since we were renewing the contract coincidentally with Chocolate Thunder yesterday, or Monday, I guess it was. So I don't believe that everything under here was followed. And I did not view Mr. Gravel's, while maybe annoying, he is constitutionally protected to be annoying. And that being said, I did not find him to be disruptive of business, although there were some issues where it would have been, I think, better practice for him to follow the instructions once told where to file a public records request at the clerk's office, to do that. And that being said, he has in my opinion, I just want to say for everyone here, he has the right to record within publicly accessible areas of this building, including public officials and folks who are working actually in City Hall without their permission, as long as he's not disrupting city business, or blocking doorways or going into areas that clearly are indicated as employees only or off limits, or videotaping into people's private offices where potentially computers can be seen or confidential documents could be seen. I don't think any of that was happening here. I'm also really concerned about the testimony that I just heard from Robyn. I just don't think that it aligns with the video evidence. I felt that the individual who was actually being most aggressive was the security guard in this situation. I did not agree with the choice to call 911 and the things that were said to the dispatcher. I was disappointed to see that 3 officers had to respond to City Hall when we do not have enough officers in the city to respond to many of the very serious matters that are happening. And I think it was a really inappropriate use of their services. And while I'm not sure I have a ton of questions, I don't agree that Mr. Gravel was behaving aggressively, or that he was crossing any particular lines, certainly not to justify a 180-day trespass per the ordinance, which is for really serious threats, physical threats, violence. And in fact, in a recent case that this body decided on, where a 90-day ordinance trespass was issued to someone who I personally find to be far more disruptive, this body voted to reduce that to 30 days per the ordinance. In this case, I don't actually think that this is a proper trespass, not just because of the omission per the ordinance, but actually I don't think that anything he did, aside from perhaps annoying some staff, disrupted business in such a way that it would justify being trespassed. However, I will say to Mr. Gravel that while I respect your right to be a citizen journalist, I don't think calling the Burlington police cuck bitches is really meeting the highest standard of journalistic integrity. So if you want to be taken seriously as a citizen journalist, I think you should think about your behavior and the things that you say. But he had no obligation to identify himself, in my opinion. And so I don't have a lot of questions other than that. I'm just not satisfied with this testimony by Chuck Thunder, and I'm concerned about the behavior that I saw.
Thank you, Councilor Litwin. Would any other committee members like to ask questions of the appellate or the city attorney or Robyn? All right. Doesn't look that.
Am I allowed to? Hi, this is Robyn. Am I allowed to speak?
Yes, you can respond to Councilor Litwin's comments.
Okay.
Go ahead. Feel free.
Okay, so I just wanted to add a little bit more context, and this is in an unrelated case that happened a week prior. There was another individual who's calling himself, I guess it's a citizen journalist or an independent journalist. He came to City Hall, and he was asked to leave, and he left without getting trespassed. He came back. His visit at that point was outside, and he was telling me about his issue that he had with another guard, but he left peacefully. He made me believe that he left peacefully. And then he followed a city attorney clerk on his lunch on Church Street to the Burlington Bagel Cafe. And there was a physical altercation there. So just a week prior, and this individual came to City Hall with his cell phone out, and he was recording, so he was employing a similar strategy.
What did you say?
And honestly, in my mind, and I was there for that also.
I'm not at work. Fuck off.
I'm a fucking
In my
cunt. Sit
mind,
works for the city attorney's
there's no
office.
way to tell if
I'm calling
Eric
BPD 'cause you
is
assaulted
in a
me. How about-
conspiracy with this other individual, because the first individual was trespassed. So I don't know if Eric is coming behind this guy, if they're working together. After that incident happened, I kind of put my guard up a little bit harder, because there has to be some kind of boundary between exercising constitutional rights and, like there's a degree of manipulation here where if you simply just say you're a journalist and you can record freely, but you know that your intention is to disrupt City Hall procedures, because I repeatedly asked him what he was there for. Your intention is to disrupt City Hall procedures, because I repeatedly asked him what he was there for. I didn't care what his name was. It didn't matter. As long as he just told me why he was there, I would have gladly said, okay, I'll go get that person for you. Let's see if they're expecting you. I was on the third floor that day because the individual who was previously trespassed now has a restraining order and was following the mayor around also, in addition to that city attorney clerk. So, we had staff that day that were a little bit too afraid to come out on the third floor just to use the bathroom. So there was already sort of this feeling of being on edge because of what happened the week prior. And I know that's a separate case, but I did want to provide that context that there was a pattern being established here with this cell phone recording and visiting City Hall with no clear purpose. To me, that is a disruption of our daily procedures because it's suspicious.
Thank you, Robyn. Any other question from anybody from the committee?
I have something to say.
Yeah, you can respond to that, Mr.
Okay.
McCall. I'll give you 2 minutes on that.
Okay, so I'm glad that Robyn brought that up, because she actually brought that up while I was there and actually used that as a threat against me to escalate even further the trespass.
And I'm glad you're recording,
I am too.
so that there will be empirical evidence of your.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Trouble
This
me.
is going to be posted on social media.
I'm glad. I'm already on social media.
Good. Now,
And the person that did that, he's been trespassed, and now there is a restraining order on him. Would you like to join his category?
You want to define who that
Would you
is?
like to join his category?
Are you threatening me?
I'm not threatening you.
Sounds like you're threatening.
So she said, oh, you want to be in that guy's category? And then threatened me to be in that guy's category, which she wasn't elaborating on because I assumed she was talking about Ari Moskowitz. Okay. So then when the Burlington police showed up after her coworker had told her why I was there for a public records request and all that, and she misconstrued it as I was trying to file a complaint and started quoting policy. And after the cop told her to de-escalate, she actually brought up Ari again and started using that as a pretense to corroborate her actions against me, which were highly unwarranted. So Robyn, if she's attempting to use that incident as a pretenses to violate people's constitution protected rights and invoke non-existent policies or claim to do whatever, then she's clearly poorly trained and is in the wrong business. And the fact that she correlates me with Arlie and actually used the term conspiracy, right? That's a very serious defamation and allegation against my character. And I take that very seriously. And she's making those comments publicly right now.
Thank you, Mr. Gravel. Response, Attorney Brown?
I simply want to summarize that I do think what has been established, including via Mr. Gravel's testimony, is that the only specific purpose that he expressed to any security guard or staff in City Hall on June 12th was that he wanted to make a public record request. He's testified that he did speak with Joe Dempsey, who is the public information officer in the city attorney's office, which is on the first floor of City Hall. And so not that he has to state what his purpose was, but it does seem clear from his testimony that his purpose was to make a public record request, which he did on the first floor. And he certainly was not, I'll put it this way, he was not on the third floor to make a public record request because he was told where he could make a public record request, and he spoke to the public information officer on the first floor of City Hall. Thanks, that's all I wanted to add.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, I'll give you 1 minute and then we should wrap this section.
Okay, perfect. That's all I need. So I'm not required to tell Robyn why I'm there. She might be per policy, be able to ask me or assist me or whatever, but I'm not required to tell her. And that really wasn't her intention anyway, based on the video evidence. And additionally that, I have a journalistic right. I could be in that building half the day if I wanted, just walking around in circles. It's open to the public. Okay. So it doesn't matter if I was on the first floor, not facilitating a public records request, following up on a public records request that was actually a day late. Okay. That's why I was there. I was hoping I didn't have to show up, but it was a day late. So I showed up to let him know that I want him to fulfill the records request. So while there, I went upstairs as my right and as a citizen journalist, and I was recording. So you can blow all the smoke at you want, but it is what it is. Chocolate Thunder trespassed me and violated my rights, and she did it with the authority of City Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Gravel. Any other questions from the committee?
Can I ask Jessica a question, actually? Unless.
Yep.
Attorney Brown, Mr. Gravel just made the assertion that his rights were violated by Chocolate Thunder security. That may or may not have happened. That could be up to some other forum. But he said that this was done so with the I forget the exact word, I apologize, but the authority of the city. Can you clarify whether you believe anyone from the city, in this case, did anyone from the city ask him to be trespassed, or was that a decision made entirely by Chocolate Thunder and with the police?
I'm not aware, and I don't think that any of the video evidence indicates that any any staff person from the city, any other staff person from the city, not a Chocolate Thunder employee, specifically requested that Mr. Gravel be trespassed. It is unclear to me whether, it's unclear to me because I'm not sure if any of Anthony's body worn camera footage indicates whether any city staff person, not a Chocolate Thunder employee, requested that Mr. Gravel be asked to leave.
Okay, thanks so much.
I would clarify, Attorney Brown, I believe in some of the footage that Anthony had after BPD arrived, he did speak to a couple city employees, that he took their names.
Okay.
So I believe the video evidence on Anthony's body worn camera did have him speak to a couple, because I believe BPD wanted that for their report. And I
might have missed that.
I believe I saw that in the body worn camera video from one of the photos. I believe it was Anthony. Again, you can't see their face, so I'd have to look back at it. Is there any other questions from the committee? And then I'll wrap with just the comments. If there's no further questions, just so the appellate is aware, Mr. Gravel, we will do a deliberation after this hearing. And then issue a decision based on the committee. I would say, your technical note that the trespass did lack the information with the appeal that Councilor Litwin has pointed out is a violation, on our behalf of issuing a trespass. I would say too, as hard as security's job is here within the city, I do believe, based on the video that I've seen, there wasn't an overly threatening manner of which this was being conducted, and that we'll have to take a look at the contracts and policies about these type of things. But I did want to acknowledge my colleagues' comments, and that a lot of those do, I believe, based on the video evidence, hold a lot of weight in this instance. Is there any other? Oh, Councilor Grant, please feel free.
Thank you. I don't have any questions, but I do have a few comments. The technical issue with the missing information on how to appeal is taken. But you were still able to appeal, and you did have communications with the city attorney's office. I would like to say that no fault of Mr. Gravel, and each situation does have to be handled independently, but we do have to keep in mind that there have been there's a reason that there's security in City Hall, and that is because of threats that have been made to people and because people have been followed. We may have to look at our protocols as a city. For example, he has a valid question as to the status of his request, his records request. He could have done that with a phone call. He could have made an appointment. And when he was asked, if you're going to say that you're a journalist, sir, if you are asked why you're in a building by someone from security, I think you could have answered that question. You eventually answered that question, but you gave some pushback, which for an average person could have seen that as potentially being threatening. I do believe, I do have a concern about the I do have a concern about the escalation. I have a great concern about how our officers were treated. That was completely unnecessary.
Are you still there, Councilor Grant? I don't know if your
It was completely unnecessary. And it takes away,
Oh, you're cutting out. Okay, go ahead.
It takes away from some of your credibility. You didn't have to use that language. Sir, are you hearing what I'm saying? You're not hearing what I'm saying.
No, we hear you.
No, we hear you. We hear it.
It's just,
I just can't respond.
I'm not asking those in Sharon Busher. I'm just asking for confirmation from Mr. Gravel that he heard my concern. That's all.
Can I speak now?
If you could just confirm that you heard my concern, I'm happy to hear your response.
Yes, I heard your concern for sure. And I suffer from PTSD, so involving law enforcement and my traumatic history there. So like when the cop immediately escalated, like it's something I'm working on anyway. But you know, I do have it. My interaction with that officer was after the fact. After the officers knew what I was there for, knew that was lawfully there, explained everything to them, and then was still being escorted out of the building with a trespass and a violation of my constitutionally protected rights to record in public as a journalist. So yeah, I did start getting verbally aggressive with the officer. Not even verbally aggressive. I did call him names, maybe names that people wouldn't like, probably names that shouldn't have been in City Hall and out in public. But the thing is that's not a violation of law, nor is that a violation of any policy that I'm aware of, swearing in public. So yeah, I understand your concerns. I get that, but that has nothing to do with how I treated Robyn and how Robyn treated me. That has to deal with the after effects of Robyn's actions. So that's a point of contention that I have. Can you consent to that at least?
I can't fully consent to that because I do believe that, for lack of a better expression, that you were trying to push some buttons. And I think that there were, even though you feel in your rights that you didn't have to de-escalate the situation, you could have answered some questions. I think that there's a little bit on both ends here with regards to what happened. And let me tell you, there isn't anyone more concerned about behavior of police officers. I have been knee deep in community service in our city, including oversight and accountability. I have seen a lot. So I'm not the first one in front of the line saying woohoo, but I cannot ignore your lack of control in that moment. Okay? It affects your credibility. And it makes me wonder, you know, if I was there and that was my situation, would I feel safe with someone who was acting in the way that you were, even though you identified yourself as a journalist? We expect certain behaviors from journalists, and I think that that is something that needs to be considered. It was extreme behavior. So I just like you to take that into consideration for any of your future endeavors in public spaces, especially governmental offices. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd like you to take into consideration that we expect our government officials to be held to a certain standard too, and private contractors operating, you know, in their capacity for the government should be equally held to those standards. And that wasn't the case in this instance. And like I said, my verbal assaults on the officer I was leaving, and let's face it, we had 3 officers there that showed up, sirens blazing. You got 20 junkies out back in City Park getting high, and they were armed with tasers and guns. And I walked out peacefully, and I can't voice my opinion as I'm leaving. I think that should reflect. You should really kind of reflect on that, and if you were in my shoes, how you would have felt in that situation.
Thank.
Well, we're different people.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I've had a lot of interaction with police. I would not have drawn it out. I would have left sooner. And I agree with what was said earlier in that our officers need to be busy with other things. So, but I would like you to take ownership of some of your behavior. You know, I've watched some of the other videos. I'm you know, dealing with this particular issue. We will deal with the video at hand, but I just would like you, it doesn't make sense to go back and forth anymore, but I am just saying that those interactions gave me pause and just something to think about in the future. You may say, you know, nope, don't care, gonna do what I'm gonna do, and that's your right. But it gives people pause.
I understand.
Okay.
Intelligence over emotion. Got it.
Thank you, Councilor Grant. Thank you, Mr. Gravel. Both points well taken by the committee. Is there any other questions that anybody has of the city attorney, Robyn, or what do you call it, Mr. Gravel?
Do I have any questions?
Yeah. Do you have any questions before we adjourn this meeting?
No. I think we pretty much covered everything. You know, regardless of the outcome, I'm hoping, based on, you know, my feeling of this, is that this committee is going to take a serious look at this trespass. And you know, as another point to that, I plan on definitely pursuing Robyn and Chocolate Thunder in Superior Court very soon.
Thank you for your testimony. Thank you, staff. Thank you, committee. We'll adjourn and reconvene as a deliberative session. Thank you, Mr. Gravel. We'll send you the outcome of the hearing as soon as we're able. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Take a motion. We don't need a motion to adjourn in this, or do we?
Motion to move into deliberative.
Oh yeah, motion to move into deliberative session.
I would make a motion to move into deliberative session. However, there's probably something else I'm supposed to say at the end of that, Haley.
You can just adjourn the public portion of the meeting. The deliberative session can take place at the committee's convenience. It is an exemption to the open meeting law, the open meting law statute. So you can do it
I got
now.
a question real quick. Will there be transcripts to to what you guys are about to do?
We'll issue a decision.
But there won't be transcripts of the deliberation?
No.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So, is there a second on that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. We will move into deliberative session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.